Hello Internet! So I'm back again to play a bit of Lock and Load Tactical Starter Kit. I'm going to give the first scenario a go again, Assault on Vierville. Let's take a closer look at the board. So in this scenario, the Americans set up in this small village of Vierville when they're expecting the Germans to come past through any minute. The scenario here is the Americans set up within 3 hexes of this hex, and the victory conditions is at the end of 6 turns, whoever is in charge of, on control, of 4 buildings within 3 hexes of this hex. So again, this building 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they've got control of 4 of them. To begin with, the Americans are in control of all of them. So the Americans have a 2-5-4 squad set with a leader there, a 1-4-4 half squad with a M1919A4 weapon there, and we've also got a 2-5-4 squad here. There is also a sniper that can come into play at any point. The Germans have got 3 squads, 1 half squad, 3 weapons, 2 heroes, or 2 leaders, and a medic. They have initiative at the beginning of the first turn, and they're going to come in from either the east, north, or west, depending on the die roll of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's see. 1. So the Germans are going to be coming in on this edge and trying to control 4 of the buildings here. Time to start play. Spoiler warning. This video will reveal the surprise event in Lock and Load Tactical Scenario Assault on Vierville. If you do not want this surprise ruined, please skip to the end. The end of the first turn was quite uneventful, so the sniper popped up here to try and get the Germans as they moved across there, but despite having the 2d6 roll on to fire with, nothing came of it. The Germans have moved into position ready to start taking some buildings. The defensive positions have been a bit fraught because although we've had these guys here, the wall here blocks the line of sight, the event building here blocks line of sight this way. So I haven't really been able to get anyone. This squad here has moved across the road to sit in the event building to prevent the Germans triggering this event. No blood drawn yet. On to the next turn. One thing I'll have to say is nowhere in the starter kit or the starter kit manual PDF does it mention about the smoke factor for these battles. All it says about laying smoke is you look in the module rules, and that bit seems to be missing. So looking up from Heroes of Normandy, which I'm guessing this song is from, they have a smoke. The Germans and the Americans both have a smoke number of 2, so you've got to roll 2 or less to lay smoke. This squad here did try and lay smoke there to move in stealthily, but they failed to lay any smoke, so they thought they'd give it another turn before they try and sit on that event building. Next turn. Things are definitely heating up in the second round, so the sniper managed to shake these guys as they were crossing the road. The American unit from this building has managed to move into the other event building, so both possible events are now covered by American troops. Because of these shaken units here, the medics have moved into this building here, so even if they can't rally this turn, they can fall back there and they've got a chance of being flipped anyway by the medics. And the other German troops have been sneaking around the corner of this building, so they've taken this one building, and now they're going to have an opportunity to tie up these guys and cross the road, get another couple. Let's see what turn 3 brings. Turn 3, not a lot has really changed, so the Germans have moved into this building now, so they've got both hexes of this multi-hex building, so they control that. They're still a long way away from controlling 4, and the Americans control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at present, so the Americans are currently winning. The squad managed to fire on the troops that were here, causing casualties to the full squad, making that a half squad and forcing them to move back to the medic. The sniper did take a pot shot, but didn't cause any more damage. These guys over here did try and spot these hexes here because they're low crawling around, but because it's a blocking terrain, being a building, you've got to roll a 1 or a 2 on a d6. So it's it's a 1 in 3 chance. It's quite low chance of them actually getting anything out of it. Let's see what turn 4 brings, because time's starting to tick. So these Germans have really got to get moving, and they've really got to get one of these events kicking off to see what else can be unleashed. So it's all kicking off in turn 4. So this German leader and German squad advanced in here for some melee with their machine gun against the American leader and the American 254. Now, before the melee happened, this triggered the event. The event on this is, on the outskirts of your city, your scout spots the dusty field grey of the Wehrmacht. Reinforcements! So in the next German impulse, they can start bringing these guys in off of any board edge except for the south edge. That's 4 164 squads, a couple of MG42s, and a leader with the assaulter skill, which gives anyone who's with assault movement capabilities. But following that, in the next American impulse, after they start coming on, the American reinforcements arrive. Not quite so strong. We've got Major Tom, a BAR gun, a 254 squad, and Hero. So you've got a first Hero unit coming in. Now, unfortunately, I've played out the melee as well. Let's get these guys out of the way. And the event has now been dealt with, but both of these guys completely took each other out. So there's now just an abandoned German gun sat there. No, Americans are technically still in control of that building because they haven't lost control of it. But now there's a lot more Germans coming on. Just going to have to decide where they come on. And my plan is for the Germans to come on from this edge and deep down the buildings and try and pick off these weak pickings. These guys can start moving across now because the only real defence up here now was the sniper. And although as powerful as the sniper can be, he can't stop everyone. And at the end of turn 4, things are really opening up again now. So because of the event triggers here in the melee, had a huge swarm of Germans coming in from the western edge, and some more Americans coming in from the south. And there's been a bit of a fireplay, so the squad here has been shaken. We've really got to get a leader there to help them rally, because at the moment they're stuck. I'll have to quickly read the rules and see if a hero can help rally someone. I can't remember that off the top of my head. Now, the troops up here, the Germans, have tried to get to this building and recover this weapon. But again, the snipers picked them off completely, so he's really kept them under control. And you know what? Now I think about it, I think I might be playing the sniper rules wrong. I think I might have, because both of them, when it should only affect one of the units randomly. Again, I'll have to double check that, but I'm going to keep playing anyway. But the Germans are struggling to get on this side, but with the wave coming in from the west, they've still got 2 turns to capture 3 buildings. There's one there up for grabs, and these forces are going to get picked apart somewhat. So, yeah. On to turn 5. So it's continuing to be feisty on turn 5. So the hero here, with this gun, took opportunity fire at these moving squads, managed to break and casualty reduce both of these squads to bring them down. So now we've got much more reduced firepower moving in with the Germans. Where this squad has shifted up here as well, there's much better protection of the available buildings. So although the Germans now have 2 buildings, trying to get another 2, which has got to really be from this side, is looking more limited. And at the end of turn 5, it looks like the Germans are really with a chance. Because of all the firing that was done here, I forgot that there was a little German unit here that could run across the road and take this building. So now they're in control of 1, 2, 3. Americans are in control of 1, 2, 3. So the Germans only have to take 1 more building by the end of next turn and keep control of it to win. Now these guys did lay some smoke down and try and move across to get into this building, but these guys successfully fired and shook the leader, shook and reduced the squad that's with him, really limited their effectiveness brilliantly, but being a leader he could self-rally soon, so They're not out of the game by any means. They're under smoke, so they've got a bit of protection. The sniper has taken a few shots at things moving, but he's been nowhere near successful at the end of this game. And I did look up, I did get the combat wrong here. He should have only got one of the units, either the leader or the squad, not both. But that's the joy of learning. Next time it'll stick in my mind next time because I've got it wrong today. But yeah, the Germans, although they're being picked apart, they've only got to move one of these squads out and claim that building. So it's not impossible, especially now that these guys are a bit surrounded. Let's see what turn 6 brings. Getting close to the end now. And that brings us to the end of turn 6. So the squad here, the leader and the squad here, got fired upon by these guys, completely split apart. These guys tried to fire on there, had absolutely no effect whatsoever. The Germans that were here moved in here for a melee and just ended up dying. So although they did have 3 buildings, they went in there, moved in to attack these guys, didn't get anything from it whatsoever. The broken squad withdrew to here. I'm not sure if that counts as taking it, but it'd only be 3. I mean, the Germans had 3 buildings. It means they've only got 2 if they can take it, but because they're shaken, I don't think that counts for control because they're not good order. So the Germans still effectively control 3. But they've got no other way of taking either of these 3 buildings. The squad down here did try and make a run into possibly melee over here, but the sniper picked them off on their way. End of turn 6. It got very close after the reinforcements came in, but this is an American victory. So that was Lock and Load Tactical Starter Kit Assault on Vierville. I had a lot of fun with the scenario. There's a lot back and forth. The snipers are really fun to use, just because you can place them down wherever you feel like, whenever you feel like, anywhere where you've got positive TEM. So I could have held off until these guys were coming in and placed them in any of these buildings to start shooting. They can't move, but I think it's a really good mechanic for working snipers. It makes a lot of sense. It fits the theme quite well. I enjoyed the game a lot. I really found the markers useful. I found the impulse movement means the turns flowed really quickly. The simplified rule system is so much quicker to play than ASL. It does lack some of the tactical depth, it does lack some of the planning, but for a solo game it's a lot more manageable. And given the fact there is a legitimate solo tactical system for it, I'm more likely to pick this up in the future. With ASL I have found myself playing some real life opponents on Vassal. I've even got a play by email game going at the moment, which is very, very 1990s, but I'm enjoying it. I have discovered though there are a few little other bits that let me down with the starter kit here. So for laying smoke, the only rule is when it comes to laying smoke, you've got to roll under the smoke factor, which is given in the module rules. The Lock and Load Tactical Starter Kit does not include module rules for the scenarios. So I don't have the smoke factor, I don't have the reduction thing, so when I was having squads reduced to half squads, I wasn't sure exactly which counter to replace them with. I made a best guess judgment. It didn't affect the game too much, I don't think. But it's just those little bits that are missing from this starter kit, which make me think that the ASL starter kits are much better as single products. This is a really good sample though, and when I played my first impressions game of this, I used the normal map. For this game I used the X map with the larger hexes, and really great. I've got so much more room for counters in each hex that I could spread things out, keep everything really visible, know what's going on without having just stacks that I've got to flick through every time I want to remind myself what's there. I did enjoy the game, and I'm going to play the next one. The events really changed it. Those surprise reinforcements, and depending on which side the Germans come in, that affects which side the Americans can come in from. It really did add something to the game, which is missing from ASL. On the ASL scenario card, if there's reinforcements on turn 3, they're coming on turn 3. Sometimes you have the little SSR saying, oh, you've got these reinforcements coming if you roll less than a 5 on turn 2 or something like that. But it's all very open book. With this, where you've got the special little piece of the scenario saying, stop, please don't read ahead. If you don't read ahead, then it's a real surprise what comes on. And I think that's a really good little mechanic. Yes, it only works once, but next time round, I just know that those buildings are where the reinforcements come from. And this was my second play, I knew that was coming, but I still think it's a really good mechanic. And I'm looking forward to seeing what other events are in other scenarios. Yeah, I'll be playing the next World War II scenario next, and I will have a look at the Vietnam scenarios that come with it, because that's a war I've never actually played on a war game, so it'd be good to have a go at that. All in all, though, I'm impressed with this system. Lock and Load Tactical. It might be a lot simpler than ASL, even a lot simpler than ASL Starter Kit, but it has a lot going for it. Until next time, happy gaming!